Hey YouTube, and thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. Well, today is kind of an exciting day for me. My kids got me a gift card so that I could go ahead and buy some parts for my Mustang. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. This is actually the fuel tank. This is not this, but the fuel tank in my car is the reason why I shut my Mustang down really in the beginning, because I was actually having fires all the time out of my carburetor because it was filling up with rust, clogging it up, and then I'd have to mess with it, and I kept having fires. So finally I shut it down. Unfortunately, I didn't just buy a new tank and put it back in. I decided, hey, let's tear the whole thing apart, and then what, 15 years later, here we are. But regardless of that, I got parts. Hopefully I can start putting it back together, start getting it back on the road again, and this is a big part of that. So I'm going to open this up. It's a fuel tank from Kentucky Mustang. They are out of, well, I don't know where Kentucky Mustang is from, if they're from Kentucky or not, I'm assuming. But also, this is a Spectrum fuel tank right here for the Mustang. I do not know if it is a perfect stock show quality part or not, but it is the fuel tank that should fit, that should look very similar to what's in there at the very least. And it is out of Canada, made in Canada. So be careful, because that was just sitting in the box, kind of attached to things, but not actually put in. Inside the box also came that right there, with the screws to put it in, a gasket, which I believe actually, I'm thinking anyways, I could be wrong, that actually might go to the filler. It did not show this gasket, I don't think, in the picture, so I actually ordered another one of those, which I might have to go ahead and send back. This actually goes between the filler neck, the metal filler neck, and the outside of the back of the back part of the trunk. I don't know how to explain that, but anyway. So I'm thinking I'm going to actually send that back, unless maybe that is the one that they sent and they just sent it in this package in the box to help with their shipping. That's probably what happened, but if not, I'll let you know later if I get another one of those. Down here, it does have the drain, which I noticed as well in the pictures, but it wasn't in the description of it on their site. So I was hoping it would come with that because of pictures, but sometimes you never know if the picture that's in there is actually what you're going to get. So once again, you get the neck that goes to your filler part. You get your sending unit for your gas level, the parts to put that in the gasket, and the nuts that are screws that screw it down in to where it goes. Yet again, this right here, I'm not sure if you get that or not. So regardless, this was the least expensive one I could find at the time. I will put the price below and tell you what that is. But also, there was ones at CJ Pony Parts that were a little bit cheaper, and I think came with the gasket and maybe even the neck. I don't remember if it came with the filler neck or not, but they were out of stock. The ones they had seemed like they were going to take a while to ship. So these Spectra ones seem to get pretty good reviews as far as, you know, build quality and that kind of stuff. Now, that's all the good. The bad, I see 3 corners out of the 4 that are, well, 2 corners that are pretty darn bent up, and 2 corners that are a little bit bent up out of the 4. And that seems to be a problem with these for some reason. in shipping they get that way, and it's because they put them in this big box, and this is all that's holding in the corners here. Now if they took that like this and went and bought some pool noodles from the dollar store, or something like this that I just made, and put over the top of these corners, they might have half of a chance for, I mean, you really could just take something like this and just put it right on the corner like that in your box. It would still probably fit in the same box. Obviously, we're cutting things and making it fit better. And you might have half a chance that these corners might not wind up looking like that. Which, I mean, and I don't know if you can tell, but this is straight down here. This has been bent over, around, and down. So, yes, I can straighten that out. But all of these tanks say the corners will come bent. It shouldn't hurt anything. Straighten them back out and put it back in. But for the amount of money that people are putting into these things and spending on these things, a couple of pool noodles is not going to kill your bottom dollar. And you wouldn't even, you could probably use one pool noodle for several corners and not have any problems with your bottom dollar. But that's just me ragging about more than shipping. I mean, the shippers need to be more careful, but this was not. These are not put in the box with any plans of the corners coming out with any kind of straightness, because not one of the corners on this has a straight flat area. They're all going to need some massaging. And I do have one more complaint about the shipping, and this is, obviously shipping companies suck. They all aren't doing their jobs. They need to worry about their jobs too. But the one other thing is, this is a pretty delicate, for the most part, piece that needs to work properly with little wires and things that'll bend very easily, and parts and pieces that'll come off pretty easily. You know, they should also have had this in something inside that box, not just laying in there, so when I pulled my tank out, it came kind of with it, half hanging out. So I'll turn it upside down, look inside of it. It doesn't have any baffles or anything in it. There's the bottom of it there. It's got the drain plug over there, so the bottom looks pretty good. I don't see a bunch of dents or anything all over it. The sides look good. I don't see any dents on that, so really just the corners. So, minus the corners, all in all, I got what I wanted. So I just showed you what was inside that box. I'm not sure how this is going to edit together because I haven't gotten to it yet. But it's been about a week later. And now I got this box here. I got my tractor in here up on the lift, so I'm kind of in tight quarters here. But I want to open this up now that it's gotten here and make sure everything inside it's okay. What this is, the first one was from Kentucky Mustang, the gas tank I showed you. This one is from CJ Pony Parts. Now, I ordered them the exact same day, and whether it was shipping or CJ Pony Parts, it took about a week longer to get. I will say, I think the shipping company, I don't know what happened, because yet again, CJ Pony Parts had the right address. I just have a delivery person that I think doesn't like me. But regardless, it got shipped back about halfway through the delivery. It got shipped back to CJ Pony Parts, and they I got a thing in my email saying they refunded me my money back. Hoped that I would shop with them again sometime. And I called, and they didn't know what happened. It just all of a sudden showed back up in their warehouse, so they assumed I didn't want it or something. But I never got it to my door. Regardless, it's finally here, and I'll blame the shipping company rather than CJ Pony Parts, because within 3 days of me ordering it again, I had it. So it took about 3 days for this to get here, if you don't count the week before. And I think it was only 2, maybe 3 days to get the Kentucky Mustang part here. So regardless, it didn't take that much time. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. Hopefully you can see this. Everything appears to be in good shape. They seem to pack it fairly well. What it is, it's both these, left and right hand side. And on both of my trunk floors, this back part here and this part here have some pretty bad rusting issues. So these are the right and left hand side trunk floor drop-offs, I believe. That's what I would call them. I don't know if that's the exact name they called them. For some reason, this one came in packaging, which I'm just going to give it a good look and make sure there's no serious dents anywhere. And I'm going to leave it in the packaging. I don't know why this one didn't come in packaging, but this one was further down, kind of in the box with paper, and then this one was on top. So I don't know if they just... I think they really do these days just put the minimum out that they can to package things. But I will say, there was a lot of this paper and stuff inside there. And they both do seem to be, you know, fairly straight. Well, unless I bang them up, but fairly straight panels for what they're supposed to be. The part I was worried most about was this part here, and they both, on both of them, look really good. The only weird thing I see is both of them seem to have a divot right here. I don't know if you can see that right in this area, but by the looks of it, it's kind of supposed to be there. I don't know. Quite honestly, I'm probably only going to be using part of this part here. I'll be cutting off probably. You'll see when I get to that point. I'm not a big proponent of drilling out every single spot weld and that kind of stuff. I'll talk about that later on in other videos when I'm doing it. The reasons why and things like that. But actually you can get just as good, if not better, a job, I think, by just replacing what you need to replace. And then that way the spot welds that are on your car are factory spot welds. And you can do just as good a job, just as safe a job for the most part. There are some places where you need to do it all, but rarely do I think you should. And as far as this car, my Mustang, it's going to be completely customized at some point. So I'm not real worried about perfect factory everything anyway, or worrying about everything, all the dimples to be exactly in the right places. I doubt these are perfect replicas of what's supposed to be on this car. I bought the fairly cheapest. I believe they were the cheapest ones I could find. And a little side note, I did get also this book in the CJ Pony Parts box, how to build a small block Ford, I believe is what it is, something like that. I bought that so I could get the extra 10 bucks I needed to get free shipping. So when I put the price of stuff below, that included this as well. But regardless, they got here good. Keep an eye out. Hopefully this will get me going on my Mustang, get me further down the road and get it back on the road and get me driving it. It's never going to be a show car anymore. I'm just going to kind of get it to a driving point. Probably put a decent paint job, if not primer job, on it. Probably paint. I'm not a big fan of driving around with primer, not because I don't like the look, but I would rather throw some fairly inexpensive single stage paint on there, and that'll block out the rain and water and keep the rust down a little better, in my opinion. And then later on I can use that as a primer for whatever base coat, clear coat I decide to use down the road. But yet again, that is down the road. You guys do what you want to do when it comes to that stuff. I'm going to put these back down in the box the best I can, safely as I can. I am happy with all the parts I got. These are in better shape than the Kentucky Mustang part, but the Kentucky Mustang part, as well as all the gas tanks I looked at online, all said you will have shipping damage on the corners. Why they don't fix that, I don't know. It wouldn't be that hard or that expensive to do, but to each their own. We'll knock it out when we get to that point. I will show you how I fix it. But yet again here, I'm just going to call this a video, kind of a first look, what's coming down the pike, working on my Mustang. I'll show you, I kind of finished this video off with just the gas tank, and then these parts showed up, so I thought I'd go ahead and just throw it all together for a video as a first look, kind of see what I got, how long it took, and what parts I needed. But I also show you the car, and I will go ahead and throw that shot in here as well. Will it fit in the Mustang? Well, that is yet to be seen, because once again, although I don't have stuff piled next to my Mustang, I got plenty of stuff piled on top of my Mustang. So that will actually be the next project that I have to do. Probably won't worry about doing that on camera. Well, if you like videos like these, please go check out my channel. The best way to look at things on my channel is by going to the playlist. I got playlists on everything, including the tractor behind me. So if you're into that, go check out my George playlist. It's a Massey 1950-ish Massey Ferguson tractor. But regardless, thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.